Hi, this is a video about empirical and molecular formulas. So an empirical formula is when you have the simplest ratio of atoms that are in a compound. So for example, CH, just a 1-to-1 ratio. And then the molecular formula is the true formula of the molecule. So it could be that maybe the molecular formula is really C6H6. Sometimes the empirical and the molecular formulas are actually the same. But here's another kind of helpful. You can see that like carbon dioxide and water, there's something we call N is kind of the ratio of the difference between the empirical to the molecular. So N equals 1 for these. So the empirical and the molecular are the same. Versus if you look at this one, you can see that this molecular true formula is 2 times as many atoms of nitrogen and oxygen. So you can see here N equals 2, N equals 2, and here we have N equals 3. So sometimes the empirical, the simplest whole number ratio of the elements in a compound is the same as the molecular, and sometimes the molecular is some integer N that much larger. So what we're going to do is first we're going to calculate the empirical formula when given the percent composition of the elements. So this would be just an example of kind of using it as forensics, where you found something and we know that that sample is 57.47% of it is carbon, 6.16 is hydrogen, 9.52% of it is nitrogen, and then 27.18% is oxygen. So what we do always first is we assume we have a 100-gram sample, so all of these percentages essentially change to grams. Then we convert to moles, and then we divide by the smallest moles. So let me show you. So, and you could definitely, once I get going on these, you could try and pause the video and try to do more, some of them with me. But if I were going to convert to moles of carbon, I'm going to use the molar mass of carbon, and I'm going to get this value. So I'm sig figs are not important with these, other than I'm going to go a lot of decimal places because it's going to help me when I do the next step number 3. So I'm going to continue this, but like I said, if you want to pause it and see if you can get the same numbers. So 6.16 grams of hydrogen, we're going to convert that into moles of hydrogen. And I'm going to get 6.0990 moles of hydrogen. And I'm just going to keep going with my nitrogen. So 1 mole of nitrogen, look on my periodic table, has a molar mass of 14.01. When I do that calculation, I get 0.67951 moles of nitrogen. And I'm just going to add a page here so I have more room. So then next I'm going to do the oxygen. So there's 27, we're going to assume the percentages are the same. If we have a 100-gram sample, the percentages are the number of grams. So 27.18 grams of oxygen, convert that to moles of oxygen. And when I do that, I get 1.69875 moles of oxygen. So the next step that I do is I divide all of these by the smallest number of moles. So my smallest number of moles here is this one. So I'm going to divide all of these by that number and try to get whole number out of these. And then when I do that, I'm running out of room, but I would I guess let me get them in there. Sorry, you guys. Actually, one second. I'm going to pause it just so I can make more room so you guys can see it better. Okay, so I'm just continuing. I made more room. So when I divide 4.7577 moles of carbon, I end up with 7 moles of carbon. This one ends up being 9 moles of hydrogen, about. So if you put these in your calculator, you'll see they're really close. This one's going to be exactly 1 mole of nitrogen. And then the last one is going to be about 2.5 moles of oxygen. So because this one is not, the other ones are really close to the whole number, either a little bit under, like 1.99999 would be 2, or a little bit over, 3.0001 would be 3. But this one is not close enough for us to do that kind of rounding. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to say C, you can see my 7. And then the next element is H9. And then N, we have 1. And O, we have 2.5. So to get rid of that, what I'm going to do is just double all of the coefficients. So this would get distributed through. So my empirical formula for this would be C14H18 N2O5. So then what I can do is then I could look at, I'm going to grab this, and we can then look at a list of possible compounds and hopefully match this up. So I think, which one is it? It ends up being aspartame. Sorry, I always say it weird. Which is the artificial sweetener. I think. Yep, it works out. So that's just how you can take, again, I'll just review with you, the percent compositions you assume on 100 gram sample. So each of them, the percentages are now grams. Then we convert to moles. Then we divide by the smallest number of moles, and we hope for whole numbers. Sometimes you will get the whole number. This time we didn't, where we had that 2.5. So we did have to then multiply the whole thing by 2 to get the empirical formula. But ultimately, that is what we did. This is the empirical formula. So let me just show you a couple more different types of questions that are similar. So here's another one. So this one's different because they give you the mass and not the percentages. It doesn't make it much different, but I wanted to show you. So again, the first thing you always do is convert to moles. So we'll take this and divide by 12.01 for carbon. And we end up with 0.01299. And then we'll take the grams of hydrogen, convert to moles, 0.03901 moles of H, and the grams of oxygen, convert to moles of oxygen. So now the next step is that we would divide them by whichever number of moles is the smallest. So let me do that with you. I'm just going to try to move that a little. So I'm going to do it in a different color. So really I'm dividing by 0.0065 is my smallest. So this one is 1. This one up here is 1.998, which is close enough to 2. This one's 6.00, blah, 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 which is close enough to 6. So then the empirical formula is going to be C2H6O. Okay. So next thing I want to do is talk about those times where we'll know the empirical formula and we also know the molar mass of the true molecular formula, and we can compare those like we were doing in the beginning. We can actually calculate N and know that we would take that empirical formula and multiply it by 1, and then they're the same, or times 2, then you would double the subscript. So let me show you. So here's an example. So in this question, you're given the empirical formula, and then they tell you that the real actual molecule or molecular molar mass is 213, and they want to know what is the actual molecular formula. So first thing is you want to calculate the molar mass of the empirical formula. So we know it's C and H, there's 5 and 11, and we know that we're going to multiply and then add, and we should get a molar mass of 71.16. Next thing that we do is we're going to do that N calculation. So calculate N. So N is going to equal the molar mass of the the real, true, actual molecule over the molar mass of the empirical. This is always given in the question. So that is right here. So N would equal 213.52 divided by, now I plug in my empirical. And when I do that, I end up with 3.000, blah, blah, blah. So really, N equals 3. So then, if I know that the empirical was C5H11, we now know it's really 3 times bigger than that, which I would distribute that through, and we would have C15H33. And that is it. So hopefully that helps you as you're doing calculations for empirical and molecular formulas.